Welcome to my beginner's guide to drum and bass. Over the course of the next few videos, I'm going to be showing you everything you need to know to sculpt a drum and bass song. So first of all, we'll start Logic. Okay, we're going to select open a new empty project. I'm going to put in one software instrument track. The first thing we should do, and the first thing you should always do in starting a new project, is save it. So we'll go to File, Save As. We'll save this one to the desktop. Alright, Liquid. Okay, now we've done that. Next thing we're going to do is set the project's tempo to 172 beats per minute. You'll find that most drum and bass lives around the 170 BPM mark. Okay, this first tutorial video we will be focusing on drums. So what we'll do first is we'll open up Logic's ES24 sampler. Now it's very important, we want to open this up in multi-output. Okay, next we'll select Edit. And this is the window where we can drag in our samples. We're going to build our own drum kit using the Logic's ES24. On the website you will find a selection of samples. So you can use these samples or you can use your own samples. Well, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be using the sounds you can find in the sample pack. Okay, so we're going to go to Drum Hits and we'll start off with a kick drum. Okay, that one sounds good. Next, the snare drum. That one sounds a bit beefy, we'll go with that one. Some hi-hats. That's cool. And open hi-hat. Yeah, we'll go with that one. Okay, so we've got a basic kit here now. What we need to do is set the key range for each sample, letting the sampler know which key is pressed. So there's a few ways to do this. You can actually type in, or you can drag up and down, or you can also actually drag this bar here at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to set the first kick to C1. And so on. Okay, the next thing, as you can hear, the sampler is actually pitching each sample to whichever note that it lies on. We don't want the sampler to do this, so we're going to take this off. As you can hear now, it sounds more like a kick drum. Second thing, I'm going to place these one shot on. What that does is when you press the key, the sampler will play the whole sample. And the next thing, remember we select multi-output when we open the sampler. Now we want to choose which channel each sample is triggered out of. So we'll go for the kick on 11, snare 12, closed hi-hat 13, and open hi-hat 14. Okay, that's good. Now I will just save this. Save as. Save this as drums. Okay. Now I just want to program in a simple pattern. So what we're going to do is, this is our secondary tool. Set our secondary tool as the pencil tool. Now when you press Command, you get allowed access to the secondary click. So I'm just going to draw in a box here. If we double click this region, it opens up the piano roll. Okay, so if we scroll down to the C1 octave, that's where our drum kit lies, we start programming in a simple beat. Now I'm just going to skip forward in the video and resume when I've made the beat. Okay, and we've now got a simple drum and bass pattern. Okay, You can see the kick and the snare is just kind of the standard beat for drum and bass. A straight hi-hat pattern, and we can hear at the end of the bar here, we've got the open hi-hat. Okay, now that we've got our simple beat programmed in, we can start sculpting the sound. So I want to go back into the mixer. Okay, now we need to, this little plus symbol down here, if we click this, see that more channels come out. Okay, we routed, if we remember, we routed inside of the sampler. We routed our kick drum to 11, 12, 13, 14, so on. Okay, so we see here, we've got the XS, and that's number 11, so this is our kick drum. I'll just name these. Okay, so we can now see that each sample is coming out on its own channel. Now the purpose of this is that we can now process each drum individually, as opposed to if we opened up an instance of EXS24 in stereo, we would only be able to process the kit as a whole. So if we now want to select solo, and we can now just get our kick drum, we're going to open up an EQ first of all. Close this. Okay, what we want to do first of all is we want to put a low cut to around 80. This is to avoid our kick drum interfering with the sub bass. Boost the Q here a little. Okay. We also want some top end here, so around 3K, a little boost, bit less, maybe around there, slightly more. Okay, it's sounding good.